You know, one thing I can say for sure is that most of the characters here aren't really that friendly to one another. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about a newer Netflix release, All My Friends Are Dead. Let me know in the comments before we begin what your thoughts on this movie were. If you already saw it, if you were excited for it, if you weren't planning on seeing it, let me know so we can discuss. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these Netflix reviews. It helps the algorithm out, it helps my channel out, and I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's not waste any more time and let's talk about All My Friends Are Dead. This takes place during a New Year's Eve party of a bunch of friends, where a series of crazy events bring out secrets, break hearts, and leads to a shocking ending. This is written and directed by Jan Belchel, making his feature debut, and it's a dark comedy action thriller that I describe as a cross between American Pie and John Wick, with the bumbling nature of a Coen Brothers movie, specifically Burn After Reading, thrown in there. The film is told through this framing device taking place the day after all this chaos ensued, where two detectives are surveying the carnage at this house, and the rest of the film is one giant flashback to the night itself. Now, I was a bit mixed on the film taking this approach. While there was some fun banter among the detectives, it also partially ruins the rest of the film for you, because it shows you the dead bodies of just about every character who gets killed in this film, as the detectives go from room to room, and we get a look at most of these dead characters' faces. So now a lot of the tension is immediately cut, as if you distinctly remember who is who, and you see them pop up during the party, you know where they wind up. So the film mostly relies on your interest in seeing how they got there. Now, if you feel the experience is immediately ruined for you because of this approach and you can no longer care less, I totally understand. I wasn't the biggest fan of that myself, but if you're able to get past it, it's actually not bad. The first half of the film is a lot of setup, and the way it introduces everyone is actually pretty clever. The party is hosted by someone named Marek. He answers the door to two characters who just arrived at the party, and he walks them around, telling them who's who, as they don't know most of the people there, and I thought that was clever, as it's a solid use of exposition that comes off as natural. From there, we bounce around and witness a lot of the drunken escapades of as many of these characters as possible, and this part of the film was my least favorite aspect, as its weakness is pretty much my biggest criticism of the entire film, which is that it often feels shallow. Most of the characters we hone in on here are either having an argument or are just there for an easy hookup, and we see them flirt obnoxiously with one another, get fairly aggressive with each other, goad each other into doing things that they may not feel totally comfortable doing, and it really doesn't make any of them all that likable. I mentioned this film partially feels like American Pie, and it's most prevalent in this portion of the movie, because it takes the most unlikable qualities of all those characters and puts them on full display for these characters. And the thing is, that's the most we ever get to know about them. Some of it can be funny from time to time, and I know since the film made the decision to reveal to us what the aftermath is going to look like at the beginning of the film, it doesn't want us to get too deep with these characters, as there's almost no point, but to take their worst qualities and place them at the forefront for this little time we get with some of them does get a bit frustrating. Though the film picks up about halfway through when the chaos begins to ensue, and I wouldn't say it suddenly becomes great here, as a number of these characters do remain kinda annoying till the very end, but it does considerably become more entertaining, as one bad thing after another happens and all the carnage is unleashed, and what makes it fun is that a lot of these scenarios are played out in some pretty creative manners and are so bizarre that that's where a lot of the film's laughs come in, and there were a lot of these moments that got a good laugh out of me. And the film's just over 90 minutes, it moves at a fairly breezy pace, especially picking up as it goes along. The characters aren't necessarily all that memorable or likable, but as things begin to unravel, it makes for some mindless entertainment, resulting in a decent B-movie. This isn't bad, though I can see how it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, between the fact that a lot of the tension's cut in the opening scene and the fact that a lot of the characters tend to be shallow and annoying. It can lead to a very frustrating experience. But once we get out of that hit and miss first half, it does pick up in the second half with some fun moments of over-the-top bloody violence, as well as some dark comedy sprinkled in there. It's by no means a classic, but if you're in the mood for some dumb fun, you may wind up enjoying this. All My Friends Are Dead gets a 6.5 out of 10. So let me know, did you see All My Friends Are Dead, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny? Do you have a favorite dark comedy? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and keep having fun with film.